What's happening, everybody? Today, it's Sunday, the 15th of November, and it's that time. A few things that I'm going to be using today, talk to you guys about a few things as well. So yeah, let's go ahead and get this thing started. Today's soap is going to be the first use of this one, Mickey Lee Soapworks souq. Oh, souq is souqing now. Looking forward to it. I hear nothing but nice things about it. So here's to hoping that those people weren't liars. Second use of today's brush. I've got a Mega from the Varlet. And I'll talk to you guys a little bit about this brush. Yeah, we'll talk a little bit about it. I guess first things first, let's talk about, let's just go over a little bit about the brush. As you can see, this is the shape of it. It is, the material, he calls it Somerset Alumilite. Somerset because of the color. Any of you guys that have any old Simpsons brushes that were from the Somerset era, so to speak, that color should look familiar. It's that nice little kind of rosy color that the originally white material that the handle was turned of takes on after years of life. So it's nice. It approximates the color pretty decently. I guess a couple more glamour shots. Here's the logo. There we go. This is not engraved. This is stamped. The thing is called the Mega. You know I had to get one at some point or another. This is made with, as you can see right here, or the F, just above where it says Mega, is for finest, because this is two-band hair. There is no discernible glue bump above where the hair exits the handle. I generally am not the world's biggest fan of that, but we'll, like I said, I got to talk about this thing, so we'll discuss that. The shape of the knot is substantially different than pretty much any other brush that I own. It's very flat, but it's not like a straight up flat top, flat top knot like the like those Shave Max. Anyway, so enough about that. Today's razor is going to be an above the tie R2 on a Kronos handle. The brush, or excuse me, the blade is a polsilver super iridium. So let's go ahead and this is good. Let's talk. So the like I was mentioning, or like I kind of alluded to, this is also the newest version of the Mickey Lee Soapworks formula. I think I've used it. I think I've used this formula before, but I don't really remember. I know I have Grand Havana, but I've not used it yet. I will. Well, it loads very easily. It loads easily, but honestly, I think a lot of that has to do with this brush itself. Now, generally speaking, a lot of times I don't like brushes that don't have glue bumps that go above the opening of the handle. And the reason being is because a lot of times that glue bump will manufacture some backbone. You know what I mean? And I'm used to that at this point, to be honest. I like it. Got a few brushes that don't have that glue bump, and I wish that they would have more backbone. So the thing about this brush is that it is not lacking in backbone, and that is really a trip. Also about this brush, the knot is 29 millimeters in width, at the point where it leaves the handle, but it feels smaller than that. And, you would think that may be because of the loft of the knot, which I don't remember what it is. I really don't remember what the loft of the knot is. I'll probably put it up there or something. But yeah, it feels really, it feels smaller than you would think a 29mm knot would feel. Also, I think I covered this. If not, then I meant to, but this thing has backbone. And that is the weirdest thing on earth to me. I understand that this brush is similar-esque to, there were some old Morrison Fondren brushes of legend that didn't have a glue bump past the handle, but apparently, like, those are like pretty much the most desirable Morrison Fondren brushes, unless you care about the gel tip thing, which I can take it or leave it. Yeah, I can take it or leave it. Also, this shape is good. This is, you know, it's obviously a chubby. Now, the thing I have, you know, I have Morrison Fondren, you know, XLs, 2XL, 3XL, and Simpson's chubby 2s and chubby 3s. And on a chubby style brush, there'll be a place where you can rest your fingers below this ridge. This, because, you know, it's so you can hold it like this and really, you know, get some stank on the, you know, on your lathering motion. So with the shape of this handle, it's actually a decent bit more comfortable than either of those brushes to hold. And I prefer, personally, the stubby, you know, the 2XL and 3XL handles to the Simpsons ones, because that place where you can, you know, grab the brush like this is, it's just more comfortable and there's more room for your fingers. So this is a good brush. If you can get one new, it actually is a pretty decent price compared to what you'll pay and get compared to Simpsons. And I know it sounds like I'm dissing Simpsons here, but absolutely I'm not, because those Simpsons, you know, the Manchurian 2-band brushes are expensive, but you will never hear me say that they're a rip-off or that they're not worth the money, because that's just not an accurate statement. This soap, damn, man, between this and the that new Barrister Man formula, damn. This bar is raised pretty high. All right, so let's go ahead and get it going. This is more than likely going to be a rough shave, because this razor, actually, I kind of need to pay attention with it to make sure that I don't spill blood, but whatever. Sense strength on this soap is good. Actually, let me get back to that point. Last night was Saturday the 12th. There was some fights last night. Let's talk about those. The I think it was UFC 192. I think it was in Melbourne, Australia, and it was actually headlined by 2 female fights. Co-main event was Joanna Jędrzejczyk defending her 115-pound title versus Valerie Letourneau. The other fight was Holly Holm versus Ronda Rousey for the 135-pound title. Now, going into the fights, Holly Holm was not given much of a chance by the fans, the media, and the bookmakers. I think Ronda Rousey was like I think the line on Rousey winning was like -2,000. And the line for Holly Holmes, I understand, closed at about plus 850. If you don't understand how that works, I'm not really going to explain it here because I don't want to. So yeah, I was thinking about, well, we'll put it like this. I really wanted to put $100 on Holly Holm, and if I would have, if the line was like plus 825 for Holm, then that means that my $100 bet would have made me 850 bucks. So that's how that works. Like I mentioned, nobody really gave Holm much of an opportunity, and I guess that's just because, you know, as I understand, the pop culture hype machine on Rousey is pretty exhaustive. I know that when she fought last, a lot of people that I know that personally aren't, a lot of people that I know personally that aren't into fighting were jazzed on that particular fight. So, and I understand that she's a big star and everything, so that's cool. Nice, good for you, Rhonda. But yeah, the hype machine was absolutely there, and nobody really was giving Holly Holm much of a chance, which I think is weird, because here's the thing, and well, I guess I can see why people thought that, because in Holm's fights in the UFC, she's not looked good, per se, quote unquote. Reason being is because she's a pretty accomplished striker, and she has a much better striking pedigree than most of the people that she'll be competing against in the UFC. So, you know, people know that, and you know, so they want to try like a grappling heavy approach when they fight her. So, you know, her fights have just, you know, they've not really been the most exciting fights that she can put on, because a lot of times people kind of, they're leery of her striking, so they don't want to engage her. Ronda Rousey, being the dummy that she is, all she does is charge forward, you know, trying to get her hands on you so she can put you down and, you know, work her judo and jiu-jitsu and ground game on you. Well, here's the thing, is that, you know, again, Holly Holm has a much better striking pedigree than most of the people that are in her weight division. And her boxing in particular is pretty good. Here's the thing about boxing. Boxing, it's the art of hitting, but just as important, if not more so, and Floyd Mayweather will attest to this, it's also the art of not getting hit. So I knew that somebody with good footwork, that's able to move, was going to give Ronda Rousey a lot of troubles. Because a lot of people think, for some weirdo reason, I guess maybe she's just good at like hitting mitts, but a lot of people think that Ronda Rousey has good boxing. Or not. Man, yo, this soap smells really, really good, and it's like, I can smell it a lot more now that it's been in the air for a bit. And it's a lot spicier than it was when it first started. Wow. You guys that missed out on this soap, I'm really sorry, because it's quite good. I think that Souq, that's also the new name of the show, by the way, Souq, is going to be re-released next year as a seasonal game. So those of you that missed out, do not repeat that mistake next year. I think I read somewhere that the word Souq, S-O-U-K, is and I don't remember what language it is, so I'm not going to accuse the word of being some or whatever language. But I understand that that word would translate into market in English, and it definitely has. It smells like a market, like an Indian market, you know, Eastern market. Not the Eastern market in Detroit, but you know, just like an Eastern style market. It's really good. Lots of spices. That stuff is incredible. Damn, that's good. I wish I would have watered another pot. That's all right, because quite frankly, I don't know when I don't think I'll probably ever see the bottom of this tub anyway. Anyway, so the fight, Holly Holm immediately showed Ronda Rousey that Rousey is not in her league on the feet by any stretch of the imagination whatsoever. She kept on hitting her with this left straight pretty much every time that Holly threw it, and it was a big left straight. Like, sometimes, you know, people will take a hit and, you know, they can probably get, you know, taken back a little bit, but her whole joint snapped back. She was getting hit hard and often. Even though she ended up getting knocked out, you know, I've read reports saying that Rousey has no chin. As much as I detest Ronda Rousey, that's not an accurate statement, because, again, the shots that she was getting hit with, she was getting hit with quality, like, punches. The strike that finally did put her away was a left high kick. That hit her on the neck, which is pretty much the worst place to get hit. She stiffened up on the way down. Holm got in a couple shots that were not necessary, and I don't think it was out of malice. I think it was just, you know, you fight until the referee pulls you off, is the saying. And I'm going to go ahead and do this real quick. Alright, yeah, so that was the finish, but leading up to it, yo, this stuff smells really, really good. Samantha and Eric, you guys ripped it here, man, for real. In addition to that, not only does it smell good, but the performance is silly as well. This brush is silly also. What a silly day. Yeah, so now, like I mentioned earlier, you know, boxing is the art of hitting it and not getting hit. So, Holm, those are Reddit notifications, and it's getting a little yeah, dude. She pretty much every time Ronda rushed in to grab her, she was nowhere to be found. And if Holm didn't, you know, footwork her way out of the situation, or out of that, you know, spot / location, then she was hitting her. Again, a lot of times with that left straight. This, something in here reminds me of one of my old, the old Creed eau de toilettes. The discontinued ones in the gray caps. And they're very good perfumes. For some weird reason, they've been discontinued. I can't explain why. A lot of them are, I'm guessing that they want to market towards a younger audience. If that's the case, then I can understand why they would want to discontinue those ones. Excuse me. I can see why they would want to discontinue those if they want to, you know, target their sales to a younger demographic, but these are the things, or those are the things I should say, that made them such a great house to begin with. A lot of the old school Creed masculines are just genius works. The feminines not so much, although I will say that Angelique Incense is very, very good, and I do own it, wear it, and it's I don't consider it feminine at all. Anyway, the fight. So, like I said, you know, every time pretty much that Rousey would, you know, like barge in or whatever, Holm was nowhere to be found, or just hitting her directly in the joint. And Holm is really good at body work as well, but she really didn't even hit her with that many body shots. She was headhunting the whole time. And honestly, like, I think she had a strategy to frustrate Rousey. I really do. Because, you know, everything, the whole weigh-in thing, she played her, man. She really did play her. Man, I wish I can remember what fragrance it is that this reminds me so much of. Excuse me. On the artwork for the label, there's like a bunch of spices and stuff. And like I mentioned, I can definitely get some of those spices in the scent. Wow. You know, for being as distracted as I am, not really thinking about this shave and talking about everything that isn't the shave, it's turned out a lot better than I figured it would. Now, I have to attribute some of that to this lather. First time in a while that I've used this razor. You know, I guess one of the things that I like about this whole wet shaving thing is that your technique pretty much always continues to improve. So I'm guessing that I've made a bit of improvement since last time that I've used this razor. There's one GIF in particular that really just summed up the entire fight. I think it was like towards the beginning of the second round. No, it was towards the end of the first. There was an instance where Ronda, of course, was just, you know, charging her. And Holm was not there. And if it was a game of basketball, then she broke her ankles at that time, or on that little instant of the fight. I guess she tried to come in low, like a double leg or something, shooting a double leg takedown, and she pretty much hit the deck, hit the fence, and turned around. She turned around really quickly, I will say that. Before the fight, you know, like I was mentioning, Ronda, she really did play with her mentally. She really did play with her mentally. She really bothered her, and she went, you know, at the beginning of the fight at the stare down, the referee asked if they wanted to touch gloves. Holly put hers up, and Rousey just pretty much ignored her. And at the end of the fight, she gave her a hug. Now, here's the thing, Ronda Rousey, again, she's a child. There's no way that Rousey would have shown that level of sportsmanship at the end of the fight had she won. So here's to hoping that she learned something from that fight. And Holly, good on you, shawty. Wow. Mickey Lee Soapworks, souq. The scent is good, but again, pretty much more important than that is this new formula, man. This is very good stuff. Again, like I mentioned, between this and the new Barrister and Man formulation, things are getting rough. Wow. The post-shave feel of this stuff is grand. I think I'm going to do a slight against the grain on the neck. Wow, this post-shave feel is really, really good. Man. This brush, it's currently on a waiting list. Like I said, it's by a company called the Varlet. A guy named Aldo that makes the brushes. And here's the thing: is he makes these brushes by hand. And the reason I kind of stressed it like that is because he does everything. He imports the hair and ties the knots himself. And each one of these handles, as far as I know, are turned on a lathe and turned by hand by Aldo himself. Yeah. So, if you go to his site and pre-order one, they're very, very good. The price is very reasonable for what you get. And I'm going to do another video talking about comparing that brush to a couple other big players. Maybe today, maybe not. But yeah, this level of workmanship made in the United States is it's a very fair price. If you've ever looked at the cost of things that are handmade in the United States, are not cheap, unfortunately. And I do what I can to try to buy things made in the States, you know. Aldo, salute to you, my man. That's a fine brush you make there. Hopefully he'll make other brushes, you know, that are big like that one. You know, I like my brushes big. 1 second. Man, it's killing me that I can't think of the fragrance that this reminds me of. Anyway, on to the aftershave. Put the wraps on this thing in this video. We are going to go, actually hold on 1 second. Oh, I cleared the runway. Alright, so aftershave, we're going to finish it off. Have to. Souq the aftershave. And I've not used this either before. It's good. I love the color of this stuff. It's very deep brown, particularly for an aftershave, considering what the concentration of, you know, fragrance by volume. They don't list, I don't think they list any coloring in the ingredients list. There is a bit of menthol, there it is. That's very good. Damn, that's good. Again, kudos to you guys, Samantha and Eric, whichever one of you or both of you that actually came up with this fragrance. Thanks for coming up with an original one and not doing a knockoff of something, excuse me. And yeah, that's pretty much going to be it. Wow, 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 wow. Very good soap, very good brush, very good aftershave. Pretty good shave, man. Oh, also, before I went, I also got some of this. This is the Halo Splash. If you can find some for a non-extortion price, get it. It is leagues better than the soap. And that is nothing approaching a diss on the scent of the soap. It's just that aftershave just is, it's that good. Anyway, yeah, that's going to be it. So be on the lookout for a video talking about this brush. Again, made by the Varlet, not the Varlet. And the name, if you know me, then you know this name resonates with me. But the Varlet Mega, excellent brush. Anyway, hope you guys had a good week. Hope you've had a good weekend. I hope you will have a good week coming up. And I will see you soon. Peace.